All right, we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the GetGrowing weekly work session with GetOiling. I'm Coach Ashley. Today, we are joined by founder of GetOiling, Greg Kilwine.
Hey, everybody.
We also have Julie from our team. Hello, Julie.
Hello.
And we have a very special guest back with us today, Dr. Linda Allen. Hey, Linda.
Hey, everyone. Great to see you all.
We're so thrilled to have you here today. As you're coming in, let us know where in the world you are. We're so excited to see you and chat with you today. Before we get into what we came here to talk about, that Linda is going to be sharing with us, just wanted to make sure you know, as you are coming in, if maybe this is your first time here with us, this is a free training that we host every week at noon Eastern. And this is something that you can join into no matter where you are in the world as a Young Living brand partner. We are Team YL. GetOiling is a platform, a software platform that is designed to help you manage and grow your Young Living business. And today we're going to be talking about using wellness scans and systems around using wellness scans to grow your business. And that's what Linda is here to chat with us about. But if you're here looking for any kind of help or support, even outside of this topic, I want to encourage you to go ahead and add any questions that you have to the Q&A here on the live call. Now, if you want to join a live call like this in the future, you can go to getoiling.com/weekly work session. And then, of course, we do always keep time on our live calls. If you reserve it, if you would like, if you go to getoiling.com/website review, you can actually set up dedicated space on a call like this for us to sit down and look at your work together. Let's see who all is here today. We've got South Carolina, Panama, Iowa, Kansas, Ontario, Canada, North Carolina, Philly suburbs. We've got Ontario, Maine, and of course here on the call, Florida, North Carolina, North Dakota, New York City. Hey guys, what's up? Wisconsin, Wyoming. Y'all keep it coming in the chat. We love you. We're excited that you're here today. Now let's get to why we're here today. Maybe just a quick show of hands. How many of us here use or are interested in using a scanning device, a wellness scanning device to share Young Living products? If you use one, let us know which one you use in the chat. I already see iTOVi represented over here in the chat. Do you use iTOVi? Do you use ZYTO? Are you doing the handheld? Are you doing the virtual? What does that look like for you? Now, there we go. Everybody, woof. All right, we have some, bought one years ago, haven't used it, right? Isn't that the case for so many of us? We think, oh, that's such a good idea. And then we think, oh yeah, I'll use it one day. And then we never figure it out, right? Guys, you're gonna walk away from this call today confident that you're gonna know a path forward to use your scanner to grow your business. So again, keep it coming in the chat. We're really excited to see you here today. Now, for those of you who join our sessions on a regular basis, a while back, we did have Linda here with us to share a very specific strategy that she was using for a fully digital way of using scans to get leads and to grow. And some stories have shifted here and some opportunities have grown, and there's some really cool insights that Linda is here to share with you today. So I'm going to switch us over to speaker view here so that we can see her beautiful face when she's speaking. And just to start this off, Linda, tell us a little bit about you and your background, maybe as a brand partner, and what got you into scanning.
Hey, everyone. Well, it's so great to be back, and I'm excited for you all to hear this information today because it seems like, based on the chat, a lot of you guys have used wellness scans or are interested in utilizing something maybe you have in a box and haven't used for a while. So my name is Linda Allen. I am a clinical doctorate. I have my clinical doctorate in physical therapy. I practice pediatrics and I am based in New York, but right now today I am coming to you from North Carolina, which I feel like each time I get to come on to work session, I'm hopping on from a different state. So hello to my North Carolinians out there, but I love my New Yorkers. So I'm with you guys all the way. Gosh, about me, I love to travel, so I am always on the go, and obviously I'm a healthcare provider. I have been with Young Living since 2017, and let's go into the fun stuff first. I love to dance, I love karaoke, I love all things like just fun and party. I'm very strong personality, but I love fun. right? So if it's fun and it's active, it's cool. Here, a fun fact about me is that I was a college athlete, a Division I college sports athlete, right? Played soccer. So I had my share of injuries along the way. And I tell you, the Young Living products across the board have helped quite tremendously as the aging process has happened with all of those things. But how did I, kind of get into the Young Living world, right? Because I was in healthcare, I still am in healthcare. And so my background is very much rooted in the Western medicine culture, right? And I always wanted to be an educator. So I kind of went from thinking I was going to be a teacher to a PT because of the injuries I experienced as a soccer player. And when I started working in the pediatric world of PT, it was about 2000 and, oh boy, it's been almost 20 years now, a long time ago, right? And so I became a person who was very healthy and quickly became a person who was very sick and really couldn't get an understanding or a handle of why. So I'm going to share a little story with you guys about a young lady, me, who got really good at telling stories to herself about her personal health. Maybe this will relate to you in terms of how you got into Young Living or how a customer of yours has presented themselves to you. But I was what people would consider a very healthy person. I ate whatever I wanted. I worked out. I was very active. But when I started my career, I became quite sick. And over a period of 12 years, I developed chronic sinus infections to the point where I was on medications every month, over the counter and prescription based, right? And so here I was, this young lady telling herself a story that she was healthy, that she was okay, that she could push through all the stresses of work and life. Oh, not to mention, guys, that I'm actually a caregiver, right? So my mother has been sick since I was a very young child. And then in 2015, my father was diagnosed with an atypical form of Parkinson's. And so I was caregiver double time. And so I got really great at telling the story to myself that I'm good, I'm okay, I can keep going, and I'll just ignore the feeling or the frustrations that I have from those sinus infections, and I'll just take the meds, right? And then I started over the years to tell another story to myself. I started to tell myself a story that my medical providers that I went to, the doctors, and everyone else knew how to better care for my health than I did. Okay, so I stopped listening to myself. I stopped following what I felt, and I relied and became reliant on other people to tell me how I should feel and to what I should do to feel better. And then I started to tell myself a story about how I really didn't have a problem. And although we're approaching 12 years of dealing with these meds and kind of wanting to get off them, but not really wanting to get off them, I kept telling myself I had a problem, didn't have a problem, until the point where I could no longer ignore the problem. And what happened was in 2017, I developed a massive case of rosacea. And it, for me, looked like a huge red rash bumps that were itchy, flaky, all over my cheeks. I applied every possible facial cream and, whatever on that's over the counter on my face to make this go away, because in my eyes, it can't possibly be rosacea. I didn't have a problem. I never had skin problems before. I just had sinus infections, right? And it kind of got me into seeking some help with the sinus issues, but I wasn't addressing the rosacea. A friend of mine introduced me to Young Living. I never attended a class. I actually didn't even watch the full virtual replay. I said, okay, if this RC can work, let me see, how do I buy a kit? I brought a kit. That was the only product I used in the kit, didn't touch anything else, and it completely changed my life. And I started being able to smell. I could finally breathe again. And I really started to question now, what are these oils? And what is this stuff in this box? And touched it more, asked more questions. I heard a lot about a few products, and I started to investigate what maybe could help my rosacea. And that is how I got introduced to wellness scans. I attended an event, a YL event locally, and I had the opportunity to do a ZYTO scan with the hand cradle. And so the ZYTO scan started to show things that, again, I was telling stories to myself. So it's impossible for me to have stomach and liver problems because I don't have pain. I have nothing wrong with me. I'm good. So I ignored it. And then a few months later, I did an iTOVi scan because I was like, oh, this little device is cute. I was at my upline's house and similar products showed up. And I was like, there's really no problem. I don't understand what these things mean. And I kind of just let it sit there until the rosacea got so bad. And I started investigating the facial map. And I started to see that this area of the face was associated with the stomach and the liver. And I went back to those scans and I purchased those products as my first essential rewards, or now loyalty rewards, order. And I told my upline, I will never order every month. Okay. But what happened was the supplements that I purchased from Young Living started clearing up my face. And I started telling myself a very different story about what it means to be healthy, what it means to be vibrant, and what the true pursuit of happiness in an abundant lifestyle could be. So I know last time I did mention a little bit about my rosacea experience because that is how I got into wellness scans and paying attention to the information that was provided to me. Because this was the first time that I now had to make some conclusions for myself. Nobody was telling me what to take. Nobody was telling me how to feel. It was suggesting products. And I had to investigate why. And that was where I started to see the power in the information that came to me that I had ignored for so long, because the stories that I told myself weren't fitting enough for the results I really wanted. And when I made the change, I used Juvitone, Sulfurzyme, multigreens, and Juvaflex oil. And I got incredibly consistent for them. And within 3 months, 5 years ago, was the last time I saw my dermatologist. Okay, so that's my Young Living story. That's how I got into wellness scans. And you see that I was exposed to both ZYTO Balance and iTOVi in this short period of time, and how the information from both of them really changed how I view my personal health, but how I also help my my patients, and how I care give out there in the world. So I hope for you guys that are watching live, that you can kind of relate to some of this and think about some of the stories that you're telling yourself. If you've experienced a scan, have you really taken the information and dived into it? Because it is telling you something that maybe you're not yet ready to believe.
Man, that's powerful stuff. Y'all, let us know in the chat if you've ever experienced something like this. Or, I mean, what do you think would happen, for your own wellness, right? If you were to do this for yourself, but think about what this can do as an impact to the people that you want to serve or that you're currently serving. So let's get into that a little bit, Linda, because you've actually used these scans. Obviously, you use it as a way to support your own wellness, and of course to connect your existing customers with product, which I would definitely want to talk about here in a bit. But you also use these scans to actually get new customers, right? Yes, I did. So when I eventually got exposed to both of the scans, in the beginning, right? So I joined in 2017. I first started to use iTOVi as my product scanner because I was doing a lot of in-person vendor events back then. And I wanted something that could show, a potential customer the
the products in a way that would relate to them. And I loved that it was portable and little. So let me take a step back, right? Because some of you watching may not know what iTOVi is or what ZYTO is, right? So iTOVi is a company that created this awesome handheld device right here. Okay, so you see it, it's nice and little. Comes in a box with a charger. And it is a wellness scan that uses galvanic skin response as a way to measure what's going on in your body. And it provides you with suggested products based on the product line that it's associated with. So this iTOVi is connected to Young Living's products. And this iTOVi allows you to then get information about the products that would be best fitting for your body based on how well your body would respond to them. And then it gives you information on your phone via an app, and you can then investigate all the information there about the product. ZYTO Technologies is a different company. They have multiple products that involve handheld scanners as well, using a hand cradle. I did not actually travel with my hand cradle today because I can only fit so much stuff in my carry-on, guys. But that one uses a hand cradle and a computer PC device. And it allows you to, similar with galvanic skin response, get information in using a special algorithm to see what products your body best responds to. Okay, so that way you guys understand, what they are. So in 2017, I did a lot of vendor events, and I would bring this iTOVi with me. And during that iTOVi time, I would scan potential customers, and they would be able to get email copy of their scan report. And it was great. I loved being able to have it portable. It was really easy to use, digital. As long as you had access to Bluetooth, the scanning device would connect to the phone, and it was great. In 2017, my team was rapidly growing. I had no intention of doing the business, and it kind of just happened by accident, but it was rapidly growing. And as we pulled into 2018 and 2019, I started to have more in-person events. And in those in-person events, there were times when I would either use iTOVi or the ZYTO Balance to do a scan. But the problem was I had no business plan. I had no website. I really was just signing up people because they were so excited to get the product. I was excited for them. And I had really no plan of what to do next. Once they joined, I didn't talk about the loyalty program. I was terrified of talking about it. I was, afraid of all the things because I didn't want to seem pushy or salesy. And my team grew. We grew international very fast. So I live in New York. About 2% of my team is in New York. The rest are in other states in the United States, Canada, the Philippines, and Europe. So I had a team that wasn't really close to me. And as we pulled into year 2 of me growing this business, I didn't have a way to connect with my team members. I didn't have a way to help them see the benefits of these scans. I couldn't figure out how to get the device to them if they didn't have a PC for the ZYTO. And I didn't really back then have any brand partners working with me. I was growing rapidly, really being the main leader. And I realized I needed to get some plans in place because I felt like I was working another job versus having a business, that could, operate and have operations running while I'm working full time. Because again, I am full-time employed still. So I'm working full time, I'm caregiving, and I'm growing this Young Living business with very limited time to do so. And I was getting defeated and frustrated. My team was not ordering each month. I was having trouble then getting new customers. And 2019 made a goal for my team to really get focused on the loyalty program. And we went in and we rephased how we present our events and how we run online and in-person classes. And that worked great. We were able to get our subscribe to save up quite a bit in terms of the team percentage. And then late 2020, I got introduced to ZYTO Insights Pro. that is another product ZYTO Technologies has, that is a remote scan where you can send someone a link, and it uses voice analysis and kinetic touch from their phone, tablet, or computer, and then they get the scanning information. So that allowed us to reach all of our team, regardless of where they were in the world. But I still use these other devices, right? And how could I use these in-person devices? So pandemic happens, and now I'm working from home, and I finally have ability to use my GetOiling website that I have and develop my GetOiling website, because now I realize I need a website. People are asking me for links. I don't have them. People are asking me, you know, for information, and I didn't have it set up. So I set up my GetOiling website. I customized it. I made it branded for how I saw the business running. And I was able to figure out how to merge utilizing these wellness scan tools with my GetOiling. And along the way, throughout 2021, I documented the process because I wanted to make sure I understood what I was doing. So if I needed to update things on my site, I could do it by myself again without asking the team so many questions. And at the end of 2021, I ended up creating a course. At the time, it was called ZYTO Insights Revolution. And that course was presented to a small group of brand partners that I knew who used ZYTO products. And, you know, I really didn't say anything after that until last year when I said, Team YL needs this information. They need this because there are people like me who have these scanners, who have iTOVi and don't know what to do with it, who have GetOiling and don't understand how they can utilize it with these scans. And this information could be very helpful. And so I created that course, and now we have had the ability to upgrade that course so that people who have an in-person scanning tool as well as a remote scanning tool can have the ability to learn how to create a functional system for their business, generate leads simply through their website, get someone scanned, and create a systematic follow-up plan for their business that runs automated through their GetOiling system. And so that is where we are now with how I use scans and how I've been helping Team YL do the same.
So let's talk about that then, right? Is anybody here, actually, if you're in the chat, do you have access to the training that Linda released? That really good one. Tell us about it. Have you been using it? I know that I've been seeing, especially with the clients that I work with who have teams, they're doing this. They're like, they saw it and they were like, I want to do what she's doing. And so that's really exciting. But I think a lot of the questions that started coming up when we did this training before was, what if I have iTOVi? What if I have a handheld ZYTO, right? So tell us about what you put together, Linda.
Yeah, so a lot of you did last time ask about the in-person devices, right? The iTOVi, the ZYTO Balance. You know, how can I do that for me? You know, and one thing I want to make sure that you all understand from this webinar is that your use of wellness scans is going to be, one, tailored to how your business is running. It's going to be tailored to your target audience in a way that fits your business brand, okay? The scanning tool is one measure of how you help customers go through that process and eliminate that idea of how do I, you know, explain to a customer what they should use, right? So I shared with you what I did for my rosacea because that was based on my wellness scan, right? But what would that look like for you guys who have scanners to be able to eliminate that pressure you feel from writing that line of practically diagnosing somebody because you can't. And these scanners are not diagnostic tools. They're informational tools that someone can receive that information and make decisions based on informed educational decisions about what is in the product and how the product works, right? So we're bridging that gap here by providing information. We're not necessarily saying, if you do this, this is going to happen, because we cannot do that. And we don't want to lead with that because that can be very misleading. Okay. So I want to make sure that you all understand that first and foremost. When a lot of you guys ask, is this for iTOVi? Is this for ZYTO? Is this for this? I want you to remember that it doesn't matter if it's blue, purple, green, or yellow. They are all under the umbrella of wellness scan companies. So when you see something and it may say iTOVi, iTOVi is the example that is used in this particular course for in-person scanning options. So if you don't use iTOVi, but you use ZYTO, Balance, Compass, or eVox, you're changing the name in the tools that are provided to you in the course to be able to customize it to what you use. If you use the remote scan, you're going to use the ones that say ZYTO Insights Pro because that one is fully remote. And so I enhanced the course that I initially had created in 2021 that was called ZYTO Insights Revolution. And what we did was we added informational modules all about in-person scanning, how to set up a potential system for yourself using GetOiling's website software to create your experience for the customer to go to your website, schedule a scan with you, you complete the scan and review it with them, and then they go and purchase, and you now have follow-up plans that are already in your GetOiling system to continue that education experience and build that relationship experience. So when I upgraded the course, it is now called Scanning Solutions Academy. And the main objective of this course is for brand partners who utilize wellness scanning tools to be able to, one, understand the importance of creating a business system for yourself, because business systems are what's going to help you be consistent in using this as a method. And two, the main objective, number two, is really for you to understand how to get lead capture and consistent follow-up in your GetOiling system, so that you don't have to start saying the things, I feel stuck, or I have this box, I don't know what to do with it. I haven't used my scanner in years. I scanned somebody and they didn't purchase. Like, I don't have people on loyalty program. Those statements, you need to start to change how you perceive that statement when you say it, and get creative in finding a solution that can eliminate that from being something that stops your business from growing. So Scanning Solutions Academy is a course that brings you through editing templates that you will be provided with in a GetOiling bundle, including campaigns for emails, landing pages, custom sales pages, how to set up your actual online calendar so that you can schedule with people and get those lead captures in your CRM, into your system, and be able to get them into the calendar so that you have a continual generation of new customers coming in straight, no chaser, right? We don't have time to be chasing people, especially for those of you who are busy working still, for those of you who are busy with your family lives. This is a way for somebody to say, sure, I'd love to know more. You send them a link and they go through the process, and it's easy and it's automated, but it's custom to you. This also then allows you to then, like I said, release that fear and doubt that you have subconsciously about feeling like you need to know all about the products, because the wellness scan is going to give that client information, and you are going to use resources such as your desk reference and other resources that we talk about in the course to help bring them knowledge about the product so they make a decision based on their personal goals. And lastly, you're going to become, I call it like a ninja warrior in how to get that post-scan follow-up, because the fortune is in the follow-up. Building out a team that consistently sees the benefits in products and their health and shares with others and creates duplication comes from having a strong follow-up. So you get to, in this course, learn the importance of that follow-up as it relates to rescanning somebody in the future, as well as providing them with, you know, something that is, you know, the ability to, you know, like scan more in the future and get that educational experience where they're learning about product. Because as brand partners, people who are growing a business, your goal is to educate people. And that's how I use the wellness scan, to educate people. And they can decide if and when they want to, you know, join Young Living, or they create a free account, and when they want to purchase a product, great. And so, you know, this is pretty simple. So I'm going to share with you guys, you know, the behind the scenes if you want to see it. And then you guys can ask all your Q&A questions, because I know a lot of people really felt frustrated using their iTOVi and their ZYTO products. You're not the only one. And so I figured, let me show you a little bit behind the scenes.
Yeah. Hey, Linda, while we're looking at the behind the scenes, I think something that could be really helpful for people is a visual of sort of what it can look like. Because when we're talking, because obviously the course goes through how to create all of this stuff in detail. But I think there's definitely a lot of desire in the comments right now to kind of see, like, what does the system even look like for sharing scans, either to get leads or to work with your customers.
Yeah, awesome. All right, let's do it, guys. So I will share my screen. Let me open this up here. Okay. And let me minimize this. Are you guys able to see that screen?
Yes.
Okay, so in the course access, again, it's called Scanning Solutions Academy, and you receive this GetOiling bundle. So this GetOiling bundle, I don't even know how many things are in here. It's probably over 20 items or close to, full of landing pages, campaign templates, custom page templates, save reply templates for iTOVi or in-person scanning options, for pre-events, post-events, sales pages that you use to be able to get you know, sales if you want to charge for this. ZYTO Insights Pro are the ones that says ZYTO Insights, and they also have their own campaigns, landing pages, and save replies. So this entire GetOiling bundle is available to you. You can access only certain ones if you want, or you can access the whole bundle inside the course. And you do that by, you know, checking and unchecking the boxes when you click on Get This Bundle. So those things are there already for you with actual wording and everything set up that you can then edit in a way that works for you. So that's the actual GetOiling bundle, which is one of the resources that you receive in the course itself. And what would it look like on the journey? So let me see if I can, I have to move some of these things around. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to share with you guys my homepage, right? This is my GetOiling website. My GetOiling website is for my target audience, which is women of color who are wanting to learn how to ditch their diagnoses using natural options and health coaching, right? And so on this page, I have a holistic wellness page, which is really my Young Living page for GetOiling without stating that it's Young Living, okay? And here, you get to learn how to create, you know, a flow similar to this, where you maybe have your scanning service options on your custom page for GetOiling, and people can actually see here. So like, for instance, if we click here, people will actually be able to see a scan, or sorry, be able to see like what a scan looks like from iTOVi, right? I'll just play it real quick. Not the whole thing though.
Have you been seeking ways to improve your general state of health, but really don't know where to start? Then consider getting yourself an iTOVi wellness scan. This 2 to 3 minute wellness scan uses a handheld device, Bluetooth connection via a smartphone or a tablet, and galvanic skin technology response to create a personal and customized list of products in various categories. So,
right. So that person can learn there about that particular scan, like what it is. But most importantly, your GetOiling bundle allows you to take, creating your custom page and leading somebody to a page that happens to allow them to sign up. Okay, so in this case, we talk about options for if you decide to charge for a scan or not as a business service, or you can have it free. So I have, for instance, coupons for members that allows them to get it free, and how to do those things. And let's just say, right, I'm going to enter an example of my test email. And what happens there when somebody goes through this process and gets onto your calendar, right? And so I'm away right now. So my next available date is here for being able to get an in-person scan, right? And how do you set up a calendar similar like this so somebody is able to set up their scan and go ahead and meet you on that particular date and time? If it's an in-person scan, or if it's a remote scan, you send the link to them and you meet with them on the date that they scheduled to do their scan review report. And the great part about it is that this option here, right? So you have various options. I have iTOVi here. I have ZYTO Insights. I could have added ZYTO Balance. I also have like testimonies, but I also have other things that are related to Young Living. And so this is for people who might be interested in having a home-based business, and that these are just personal things. These are not things that are included in the course, but these are how I've used GetOiling's features, right? That's a landing page. This is a quick Q&A lead generation form for people who might be interested in having a quick one-on-one call to just understand where to start. And so you get to learn how to really go through this piece of it, putting something up on your website so people know you have this service, and getting them to a page so that they can actually schedule on your calendar with you. And so this is an example of one of the templates. These are actually from iTOVi's marketing. So they provide those things to customers to be able to use their branded stuff. And all of that stuff is accessible in your course. So that is kind of the behind the scenes of how you learn to create a flow. On the customer's end, you then have email campaigns that have been generated, right? So once that person actually filled out this form, an email was automatically sent to them based on the settings that you had attached to this GetOiling page that then prepare them for that meeting date that you have your scan with them. So that is kind of the behind the scenes. Again, you learn a lot more when you're in the course and you see the templates themselves and the information that you can set up and utilize. But you do learn how to do things like upload a video and create thumbnails, and how to actually create your calendar online if you use Calendly, and you do the same if you use a Q&A. So that's a little skinny behind the scenes there.
And so that's like the front end of what you are putting out there for people who might, meet you in person, or you'll find you online or something like that. They see that there's a service that you offer. And so you're actually, you're taking payment in some cases for the scans, but you actually, you don't always charge for the scans, right? Because people are your customers.
I don't, right. There are times when I do events, right? So in the course, we talk about like what happens when you do in-person events. I probably wouldn't charge then. Sometimes you do one-on-ones and you charge. Sometimes I do, remote scans and I charge, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm collaborating with somebody on a social media platform using, like a interview, or we're talking about a topic, and it's something that's offered to the group who's watching to be able to do a scan. And it's so nice to be able to send a link out, and they can literally be captured in my email list and do what they want, which is to receive a scan, either in person or remote, And I can then follow up with them and just focus on getting to know more about them, their personal goals, and educate them on options, based on what showed up in their scan. So yeah, you don't have to charge. Again, that is something that's a personal decision and sometimes situational based, but it is a service that you are operating within your business brand. So we do talk a little bit in the course about the mindset behind charging and not charging, as well as the mindset that's needed to collaborate with other wellness professionals and utilize this tool in an effective and fast way during things like a vendor event or an in-person event. And how do you scan multiple people at an in-person event and then get quality follow-up after the event by having everyone who attended get on your calendar, and you can go over things on a one-to-one basis with them.
I love that. So guys, if you're paying attention here, the whole picture that we're talking about is, I mean, once upon a time you had a scanner, right? And you needed to be able to explain the value of being scanned and why we need to sit down and talk about it, why this is a valuable thing that you're receiving. Part of Linda's system here is actually developing a thing that does that talking for her and even positions it, and this is so important, positions it with a price point so that people understand this is a valuable use of their time and of Linda's time. And this would be the case for any of us who's scanning, right? This is a service that's being provided. Now, just because you purchase this device and it could help you grow your business doesn't mean that it's a thing another thing that you have to make free. This isn't like a sample, right? This is a service that can help connect people to the things that they need to be better informed on how to take care of themselves and raise their wellness line. So if you have something that teaches the value of the scan on the front end, collects the information, allows them to book themselves on your calendar, right? And then has, again, because GetOiling is capable of plugging in and using all of these automated emails, we can make sure that we're getting people the right information at the right times, the follow-up after the fact. And Linda, you even created an actual sort of sheet, right, that you use to help people interpret their results. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. So one of the things that was a challenge for me is remembering what products showed up, which products the customer said that they were interested in, which ones they weren't interested in. So as part of the course, you have access to a plethora of actual PDF documents, free documents that are included as just access jumping into the course. They include things like scanning sheets. So sheets that you can either print and fill out by hand or fillable ones that are digital that you can actually complete while you're doing the scan with somebody, while you're reviewing the report with them. You also have access to a ton of templates to give you ideas of ways to ask open-ended questions to help the person think about the information that you provided them through the educational resource you used. You also have templates for examples of how you can make your flow, meaning how can you go from a landing page to an email, to scheduling, to doing the follow-up after the scan. Like, how can you create those flows? You have access to ideas for how to use your scan. One of the number one things that I realized was I had this scan, I was excited to use it. I then ran out of ideas for how to use it. But really, I didn't run out of ideas. I just wasn't able to get a better understanding of how this scan can be used in every situation possible, at the library, park, grocery store, at the yoga studio. And so you have a PDF guide that allows you to get ideas for different types of clients and different types of events that you can use these wellness scans for, and ideas of how you can customize the product inventory list that it scans for, because you can actually customize these scanners to scan for every Young Living product or only certain Young Living products. And how do you do that based on the clientele? So you have a PDF for that. And most importantly, is the consistency, right? And so the course is going to allow you access to group coaching, where you get your tech questions answered, as well as your business strategy questions answered. Okay, and so the tech portion will be with the GetOiling team. And the business strategy part will be with myself, really diving into personal development as it relates to developing your business plan and really creating a strong follow-up for using this. And so I want to make sure that you guys understand that you're going to be provided with a whole lot of resources in this upgraded course, because I don't want people to feel like how I used to feel. I want people to make sure that they are able to use their items, remain consistent, and help their ideal clients see the benefits of the product. That's it. You know, I think it's so important for that piece. So all of those things are included, you know, for you, immediate access. No waiting, no chasing it.
Exactly. So let's get into it, because everybody's like, where's the link? Where's the link? Where's the link? I'm going to pop the link, you guys, into the chat right now, and we're going to start talking about what is included here. Maybe we can walk through the page real quick. But just, by the way, if you are someone who purchased the previous version of this course, do not use this link that was just shared, because Linda already sent you, you should have it in your email already, a special code. So it's actually applying the cost of that. This is actually an expanded version of what she did previously. It is a new thing, but it does have some of what you did already. So check the link there in the chat. And Linda, do you want me to share and we walk through it, or do you want to?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Do you have, I've got it.
I've got it pulled up right now. All right. So
Awesome.
Scanning Solutions Academy, you guys, Linda is clearly very good at building things on the platform, and she actually has this stuff pre-made for you. You can watch a little video here where she shares a little bit more about the program. Of course, again, I hope you're reading the chat here. If you're here live, there's definitely some folks who are in the course who have left some stories of what they've gone through. Listen, y'all, like, and I think this is really important to know and remember here. You know, Linda isn't somebody who just like creates a bunch of content and courses for Team Young Living. She literally came up with something that worked well for her, worked well for her team, and decided that this was something that would benefit all of Team Young Living. And so you're going to find a lot of really incredible content in here. And I'm saying that because I've seen it myself, and also because most of my private clients have actually bought this and have been putting it into use. And I've seen how easily they've done it without even coming to me and asking me for help. So I feel like that's like the barometer. Like, are they calling me? No. Okay. This is real easy. All right. So, so we've got, you can see all of the great things that you're going to get here. There are really great strategies that are wrapped into this. It's not just how do you set up a landing page so somebody can book you to scan, right? But yeah, tell us a little bit more about the bonuses that you've included here, Linda.
Sure. So we spoke a little bit about like the convo flows and cheat sheets, right? So ways that you can ask open-ended questions, be able to really get an understanding of the flow and the potentials for flow for how you can get somebody from, you know, start to finish. And they're visual, right? Because some people are auditory learners, some people are visual learners. So we kind of made sure to capture all of that. You got your scanning sheet templates, right? And those for you to use if you so wish. Some people may not feel they need to use them, but there are digital and printable versions of them. I highly suggest, if you use them, to add each individual one to the customer file. So meaning go into your contact manager, say for Sally, and add it to the file so that anytime you want to know what happened at the last scan for Sally, you're not trying to search all over the place. You go to Sally's name in your contact manager and add the document is there that you already filled out from her last scan. So it makes it easy to know what was the plan that you guys left with. You get your PDF bonus on ways to use your scanner, right? So how do you use them at this event for this type of person? What potential products could you use? And it's just a very beginner guide, right? So it's not the end all, but my hope is that you get ideas and get creative and it becomes a launching pad for you. And most importantly is this extra video that I did on ways to share through storytelling, ways to share your scanner effectively, right? Some people, when they see this, are not going to understand on a post or a story why this has meaning to them. But if this is attached to a story, or if you're sharing it in a certain way, to build conversation, you can then bring them to a private message or a direct message to find out more about their interest in it and share the link with them to get access to it if they so wish to do so. So that's a bonus module because I know a lot of people want to share on social media and are not sure how. So it's just giving you a very brief overview of examples of how you can use different images to do so. And then of course, you got the group coaching. One of the main things I notice is that I see people get excited by something and then they wean off. And this is a strategy that can really be used long-term. It's not for every brand partner and it's not for every customer, but for those who it can benefit, the group coaching is a great way for you to really dive into getting over the roadblocks that prevent you from sustaining that consistency long-term. So these are the topics for the business strategy calls, because the tech calls are open, right? You have a concern or need help doing XYZ, you can write in or you can come on live and join the group on those calls. But for the business strategy calls, we're really diving into a combo of personal development along with business strategies that complement the modules, right? So it's not exactly the same as the modules, but they are complementing the modules in a way that by the time you guys get to, say, the end of the calendar year, you've already been implementing this and have a strong foundation so that you can use your scanner as a way to just build great growth and duplication for yourself and your brand partners when you bring them in as well.
That's right. That's right. So guys, this is amazing. You got to come over here to the link. I'm going to pop it into the chat one more time. You can come check this out. We're going to work together on this live for 6 months. If you have any reservations at all about whether you can do this, you can set those aside because you're going to have a group that you're working with. You're going to have Linda there live with specific deep dives on different strategies. And I'm going to personally pop in there for quick tech calls if you guys are struggling with implementing the things that she's putting together, which again, I'm telling you, you're probably not going to be struggling that hard because like everybody's doing this on their own beautifully, but you're going to have that support available there. Okay. And all of these bonuses that she's provided for you right now, it is priced at $197. Guys, that's for everything, like including like the actual live support and working together through this. So definitely take advantage of this. The live calls will be recorded. So regardless of where you are in the world, that's something you're going to be able to submit questions ahead of time if you have them. And of course, there is a discussion room in Linda's vault here that this is inside of a GetOiling vault. There's a discussion room. So if you have questions, you've got that support there as well. And you could buy today and keep it for later as well. If you're not going to like, you know, and also Linda, this, the live portion of this doesn't start until after convention, right?
Right. So what we did was we know that this is, you know, almost convention time. And for me, convention time for brand partners is the best time to reignite that business strategy piece, right? So what would it look like for you as a brand partner for the next 6 months to utilize something that you've already have or were thinking about getting, which is a wellness scan, and putting that into action with support from a group from July to December? What would happen to your business? What would happen to your OGV? What would happen to your loyalty member, you know, percentage rate? So you can join at any time at that price from now until a week after convention. And after that, it's going to go to full price, but you can join at any time. The modules will always be there. If there are updates, you will get access to them. And the video live calls, if you do miss them, there will always be a post in the discussion room for you to ask your questions, and we'll make sure to answer them on the live so that when you watch the replay, you will hear your response. The discussion room is there for questions and Q&A and to share your wins. And so the best part, I think, is that you have the ability, once you're in the course, to become an affiliate and earn additional revenue, right? And so one of my things is I love business and I love business strategy. So I decided to share this with Team Young YL, even though I am not growing a brand that is for Young Living business brand partners, right? So I shared the course with the brand partner world because I think it will benefit a plethora of people who are where I used to be, struggling to figure out how to make this work. I'm sharing in the course how you can use these scans as a paid service if you wish to earn additional revenue that will help you cover the cost of your subscription plan for ZYTO or iTOVi. In addition, you have the ability to use an affiliate link that you would get emailed about and share that link for the course with your crossline friends, your brand partners, your downline, whoever, who are also interested in doing the course, and go ahead and earn from sharing that your referral link, right? So just like you earn from sharing your Young Living referral link, you have the opportunity to do the same. So really my goal was to really just help Young Living family out there in any way possible, based on a strategy that I use that's worked very well. And I hope that for those of you that decide to jump in now or jump in later, that it blesses you. I want to hear the wins. I want to hear, how you were so happy to finally see ways that you could use this in an easy way. I know what it's like to be a busy person, work full-time, caregiving. I travel. My husband and I are in 2 different states. I am hardly ever home, but you can still grow. And if you use your GetOiling website platform in an effective way, it can be quite easy. But for those of you that don't have GetOiling yet and are thinking about it, at the top and the bottom of that page, you can try GetOiling out, right? And go ahead and click the link and try it out if you so wish, and see just how easy it would be to use the templates that are given to you in GetOiling. I promise you, you will not end up canceling that subscription. It's just, GetOiling has just made my life so much easier. And I know those who use GetOiling feel the same way. So.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Hey, so we have some questions. I want to run through these questions just to kind of save for time here. And thank you guys for sticking around. So let's see. So ZYTO Insights Revolution course is no longer. This is an improved, expanded of the original. Correct, Allison. You will no longer be able to purchase ZYTO Insights. It is all of this all together, right? And if you already did purchase the ZYTO Insights course, then check your inbox, because Linda sent you an email with a special page to get this course at a special price, a discounted rate, because you already purchased the previous one. And there is an inclusion of that same content in this. $197 is a one-time price, only one time, and
Yes.
you get access to that whole everything. Bunch more. Can children be scanned remotely? If so, what age? I think this may be a question to take to ZYTO, but Linda, do you know?
They can. So for like the Insights Pro, ZYTO it can be done. And there are trainings that you have access to, those training links that they share with you. The parent has to have a profile first for the Insights Pro to do a remote scan on a child. iTOVi can be used on children as well, pets, all of those things. Yes.
Pets? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, pets as well. So
that's amazing. Camelia asked, is this targeted to those who already know about oils? Does this work for people who don't know or don't use oils yet?
So this is a great way to introduce somebody to oils, right? If they know nothing about Young Living and they know nothing about oils, this is your gateway entry to exposing them to natural wellness products, right? And I wouldn't necessarily say oils, because not everyone really understands the benefits of oils like they do the supplements or the personal care products. So just reframe, not necessarily you personally, whoever asked the question, but just reframe how you think about, your scanning and your presentations, right? We are presenting a natural wellness lifestyle to people. That includes oils, supplements, personal care, okay? And within that, the scan can scan for all of those items, or it can scan for only items that you set. And the people do not have to be a customer currently. This could be their gateway entry into wanting to learn how to ditch and switch. They could have used oils from another brand and said they didn't really work. And now you're educating them on how and why a product would work. Or they're a long-term customer and they don't know what else to order because they feel like they've ordered everything else. But when you actually go through their health goals with them and they do a scan, now they're learning why something could benefit them. And they can make a decision if that's something now they want to order next month. Now that they said they didn't have any ideas, you've provided them ideas. So it can really be any of the above. And I hope that kind of helps clarify that.
Perfect. Okay, there was Camelia also asked, do we have to have iTOVi and ZYTO products? This is an either or. If you have both,
either or and all, all the above. There are going to be people in the course that only use iTOVi. There are people in the course that only use ZYTO Balance. There are people in the course that are only using the remote ZYTO Insights Pro. The campaign bundle is set up so that you can pick and choose. You can download it all in your back office, and then you can edit and set yourself up for whatever you use right now. But if you decide to change later or you add something else in, you have the access, you have everything, right? So you really are looking at this as a fluid piece, right? This is not either or, this is and. Okay.
Yes, I love it. Okay, do you offer free scans for inactives?
Yeah, sometimes I do, absolutely. One of those things is I don't like when people necessarily get stuck on, is it only one way? Right? If you have an inactive member, I want you to think about it from a service and heart-centered standpoint, right? Somebody who was inactive, maybe they didn't understand why a product could have benefited them. Maybe they were at a stage of their life where they weren't ready to receive the information, or they weren't able to really focus on using said product. So it makes sense to offer them for free in those instances, because the goal is to help them just reconnect. And that one-to-one time reconnecting, whether it's remote and you're virtually doing the review with them or in person, is way more powerful than the actual purchase of the product, because they are building trust in you again, right? So it's so important to stay focused on that first, because when somebody can connect with you in a relationship, they will build trust in you. And when it's time, it will happen.
I love it. I want to share a shout out to you in the comments here. Dr. Nozella Brown says, in the last 3 months that I've used your course, it has taken away my feeling of being salesy or pushy. Instead of people getting information, instead people feel they're getting information from the scan that takes the guesswork out. Over the last 3 months, people have been more consistent in using the products that support them and are reporting how excited they are to experience improvements in their health.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That is so cool. More questions here. And by the way, you guys, if you have specific questions about how these scanning devices work, iTOVi and ZYTO are the ones that we're talking about here. And they do both have multiple options in terms of how you can work with them and what their scanners, the costs, and if it's virtual, if it's handheld, all that kind of stuff. So there's definitely an opportunity there. Mary, can you use this with GetOiling? Yes, this is absolutely it's kind of for GetOiling.
Right. So it's designed, like the easy button is for everyone who has GetOiling. That's why I said, if you don't have it and you're new to GetOiling, go to the top of the page, go to the bottom of the page, and go ahead and get your free trial for $1, right? You're going to find it's 100% worth it. If you already have GetOiling, the easy button is already made for you. If you are using a different software system and you really are at the point right now where you feel like you don't want to change, the course is still for you, because in the PDFs, you have written copy of what was used in the email campaign, but that means more work for you, because now you've got to copy, plug and play into whatever you're using versus just clicking the button and then just editing and GetOiling. So if you want the easiest button, get your GetOiling system set up. If not, then you got some extra work, but it's there for you as well.
Perfect. Sheila has a question about Calendly, because you do use, you recommend using a scheduling software at some point in this process, right? So part of the system that actually works here is that the systematizing of it is the stuff that takes away the active Linda trying to set this up, follow up, right? Trying to do all of this and all of this, right? It does all of those things, and then that includes scheduling. But Sheila has the free plan that only has one calendar allowed. I think that, and I could kind of answer this because I work with a lot of people who do this. Free Calendly, if you just set your one event up as whatever the average length of event would be, and you just call it one-on-one with you, your name, then you could plug that into anywhere in your funnel. So if we're going to say that any meeting with you, whether it's ZYTO, whether it's iTOVi, whatever, call it a one-on-one with you, and then you're just going to embed that form on the page and GetOiling, no matter where you're using it. If it's in the funnel that Linda's providing for you in this course, or if it's a strategy call or whatever, if it's embedded on the page, nobody's going to know that it's different from anything else, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I actually have, I only have the free account, and the reason being is because my life has been a little bit chaotic. I'm in the process of moving, and I have had less time to do in-person scans. So I have that calendar set up. It's like inactive right now. And then I have the remote set up, right? So they're all set up on my Calendly, and it's just a matter of pressing the button of which one's active to make sure I then embed it correctly. But you can also do it like that, where you have one main calendar and go from there. There's a plethora of options, for that. So yeah, that's a great question.
All right, one more. Fabulous. So even though I have a website with landing pages and using what was available with my membership, you're saying I can add this as well? Yes. So Mary, obviously depending on your plan level, because I think Linda, you've got, some of the resources that you include in the bundle are definitely things like campaigns, saved replies, stuff like that, but you also have pages. And so if you are on basic, GetOiling basic plan level, for instance, I think we max out at 10 pages, the custom pages. So if you are short on those, then you may want to consider upgrading your account. But if you're at a place where, maybe you just need more, reach out to us, right? Like if you ever need an expansion of a set of features, like there's a thing that you need your account to do and you don't see a way to make it happen, like shoot us a message.
Absolutely. I would also say, like, for that one is, start with, if you have 10, start with 1, right? Or start with 1 page, and you see how I showed multiple options on the same page, right? Which is why I showed it to you guys of what it looks like when I have the in-person and remote, because then the person can click and choose. One would state remote, one would state this is in-person, like within this zip code or this region of where you live for the in-person, and then they can choose from there. And then that way you still save your pages, but you have everything on it. Perfect.
All right. Yeah. So honestly, I think with your strategy, Linda, you have this is something that could be, like you just mentioned, integrated with other offers into a single page. You can use a single booking page for multiple places on your site. There's a lot of different ways to do that. And this is the kind of question that I'm happy to walk through with you guys on one of our upcoming coaching calls inside of the course as well, just to kind of help you make sure that you know how to use your GetOiling account with this to the best degree possible. A lot of us have 27 different thank you pages that we don't need. We only need one, right? Or one booking page, one thank you page. And then you can actually use your allotment of those pages at your plan level, if that's where you're needing to be right now, more effectively. So we can absolutely get into that into the course as well. So all right, just make sure you guys.
Be a good question here. Somebody asked, can you use GetOiling on a phone, tablet, or a working computer? Yes. So there is an app called AttractWell, and that has access to all your back office for GetOiling, the easy button, right? So it's so great because that then gives you access to the course on the go, right? You can listen to the modules like I do. Most of my video listening to, weekly work sessions, because I miss them usually at work, and all sorts of stuff in the car. So that gives you access to the videos on the go. You have access to the discussion room and everything, as well as setting things up if you wish from your phone or your tablet. You don't have to have a computer to set it up. Obviously, visual wise, it might be easier on a bigger screen, but yes, you can do it that way.
Fabulous. Yep. And the app is called AttractWell. We do actually have Greg put in the chat just a little further up, a link to a support article on our site where you can learn more about the app. and of course, learn how you can download it and use it. And we have several different trainings. If you go to youtube.com/GetOiling, we do have an app playlist where you can learn more about the app itself, how you can use it, and how your customers can use it to access your member area as well. So there's a great conversation that's happening over here in the chat, talking about using these scans versus muscle testing. I want to encourage you guys to head over to our Facebook group and continue this discussion. I think we should all be putting our heads together and always working toward creating a better future for Team YL. So go over to our GetOiling Facebook group. That is facebook.com/groups/GetOiling online, and you can join us there. I'll be sure to put the link in the replay. And you guys get in on this, because this is going to be really a complete system for you. If you have a scanner and you know you want to be doing scans, and this is something that you really love and believe in, this is a strategy you're going to want to follow, and you're going to have the support and a community behind you, and literally everything that you need pre-built, made by Linda, that she uses, that you're able to brand and set up for yourself. So look forward to seeing you guys there. Linda, thank you so much for your time today and for giving this to the community.
Thank you guys for allowing me to present today. Thank you for everyone who was previously in the course, for just being awesome, awesome, awesome. And, thank you for all of you guys who are ready to jump in or have somebody you think. Again, the goal is really to take what's happening now at convention. We're back in person, and really let's take, the chaos that's happened over the last 2 years and really take off on the rocket ship, right? I put in the chat there how to best reach me. So my course is not shown on my website because, again, remember, my website is not branded for Young Living brand partners. So if you can't remember how or what the page link is, you can always email me or reach me on Instagram, or you can, what was I gonna say? You can also reach out to the GetOiling team. You can also go to the GetOiling weekly work session on YouTube, on the GetOiling YouTube channel, and this replay will be there as well. So I, want to make sure that, you feel that you can make the best decision that works for you and your brand partners. But I would love to be able to hear stories of amazing growth for all of you over these next 6 months and beyond, for being able to get these scanners out of their boxes, shaking the dust off, and being able to really use them in a way that works unique for you. Because remember, what you're learning in the course is not the only way. It is one way. So I want you to get to the point where you learn to say less and you let your scans help the client say yes. Okay. Ooh. So take that gem, have a great night. Be like, snap, snap, snap. Have a great night or day. And yeah, I'm off to go travel tomorrow for the rest of the weekend. So if for some reason you don't hear back from me as fast, it's because I'll be in the mountains soaking up nature, because life has been chaotic and I need to ground myself. So we're going to be in nature in the mountains for a little bit. Service might be spotty, but I will get back to you if you have questions. So thank you all so much. Thank you, GetOiling team. You guys stay blessed and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Thursday.
You heard it. All right. We'll see you guys next week. Take care.
Bye.